hoping for the best. That's such an interesting term. That's a good choice for me. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Casual. For those who are new here, we are so glad to have you here today. We are back in front of the bookcases with a new TBR video. This will be an April TBR. We are going to be using the jar. Sorry, the camera's shaking. I need to get a tripod for my phone. I think I'm gonna pick all of the prompts first to make it a little bit easier for my editing self. And I do have a bunch of books that I already want to read this month, so I will be picking a lot less. So I think I'm only gonna pick about 5. So let's see what the first one is. So a book with a white cover. Okay, I have a couple. I have a couple from the library that could be good. I actually have like 4 to pick from, so never mind. That was an easy one. I also went and got a library card for the county next to me, so I have way more options now. Something that I researched before I bought it. Okay. One of my books that I'm actually going to be reading already this month that I'm reading now could fit to that, so I'll actually add a couple more in. Another one. All right, a book that feels like spring. Okay. I think I got a couple for that. Probably gonna be a cover choice, to be honest, but you know, we'll see. A YA romance. That's a new one. That's a new one for me. Let's see, let's do a couple others. A horror. We love that. A book with the character name in the title. Okay, that one is gonna be a tough one. Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. That one we might have to trade out. Something I bought on Book Outlet. Let's do one more because I have a couple that could already fit into these categories. A new release. Perfect. I know what that was gonna be. So I'll actually start from the bottom up as we picked them. So the last one that I picked. The new release, I'm going to be picking Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I don't have it yet. It's my book of the month book and it should be here in about a week. So I'm super jazzed about that one. I actually don't know anything about it, to be honest. I just kind of went into it hoping for the best. Because it's Abby Jimenez and I've read literally everything else that she's written except for that little novella on Amazon. We could add that one in just for fun. So the next one is a Book Outlet purchase. So let's see what we find. Okay, this is harder than I thought. I bought so many books off of Book Outlet, but a lot of them are much longer and I'm not really in a really long book mood. I'm gonna choose Starve Acre by Andrew Michael Hurley as my Book Outlet pick. In all the digging he'd done, Richard had never once turned up a single worm or spider, only bones. The worst thing possible has happened. Richard and Juliet Willoughby's son, Ewan, has died suddenly at the age of 5. Starve Acre, their house by the moors, was to be full of life, but is now a haunted place. Convinced Ewan still lives there in some form, Juliet seeks the help of the Beacons, a seemingly benevolent group of occultists. It says that it's a devastating new novel by the author of Prize. It's a story about the way which grief splits the world in two and how searching for hope we can so easily unearth horror. So that could be fun. I say that that could be fun because it's a very heavy fantasy month for me, other than this. Fantasy and romance and romantasy or whatever. So the next one is the book with a character name in the title. I think I only have one that could really fit this that I got from the library. Okay, I picked one. I actually had more options than I thought. I'm going to be picking Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I'm really excited to read this book because it comes really, really highly recommended by several booktubers that I follow. This, I know, is a set of interconnected standalones. I think there's 3 of them, and they're all about the Brown sisters. So there's Chloe Brown and then her 2 sisters. Chloe Brown is a chronically ill computer geek with a goal, a plan, and a list. After almost, but not quite, dying, she's come up with 7 directives to help her get a life, and she's already completed the first, finally moving out of her glamorous family's mansion. The next items: enjoy a drunken night out, ride a motorcycle, go camping, have meaningless but thoroughly enjoyable sex, travel the world with nothing but hand luggage, and do something bad. But it's not easy being bad, even when you've written step-by-step guidelines on how to do it correctly. What Chloe needs is a teacher, and she knows just the man for the job. Redford Red Morgan is a handyman with tattoos, a motorcycle, and more sex appeal than 10,000 Hollywood heartthrobs. He's also an artist who paints at night and hides his work in the light of day, which Chloe knows because she spies on him occasionally. Just the tiniest bit. When she enlists Red in her mission to rebel, she learns things about him that no spy mission could teach her. Like why he clearly resents Chloe's wealthy background, and why he never shows his art to anyone, and what really lies beneath his tough exterior. It seems so cute. Ellie has red hair, a little leather jacket. There's a cat. I think this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Next we have a horror. Like just straight up. That's not gonna be too hard. It's not gonna be too hard with me being the person that I am. We've already picked a horror book. Okay, that was easy. I picked this book up from the library the other day, and it's called Where the Dead Wait. I'm sorry, I'm filming this on my phone, so I'm not able to see if it's like super glared. It's a stuck in the Arctic on a boat horror historical fiction. In the 1800s, there are many ways to be lost in the Arctic. There are fewer ways to be found. But a disgraced sea captain must search for a missing shipmate and his own redemption amidst icy threats from within and without in Bram Stoker award-winning nominated author Ali Wilkes' chilling polar gothic novel. That's such an interesting term. Also, the words abandonment, betrayal, and cannibalism are listed. So I'm excited about that. It's called Where the Dead Wait by Ali Wilkes. A YA romance. This one's gonna be a little more tough because I don't really read a lot of YA. Oh, I know one off the top of my head. Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. All right. I'm gonna choose for the YA romance category, Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I've never read anything by Lynn Painter. This book comes so highly recommended. I do know it's YA, so it's not as spicy. The words are pretty big. So I'm hoping that I can get through it. That's 2 romances this month. So we'll see. Liz Buxbaum has always known that Wes Bennett was not boyfriend material. You would think that her next-door neighbor would be a prime candidate for her romantic comedy fantasies, but Wes has only proven himself to be a pain in the butt ever since they were little. Okay, so we have like childhood friends to lovers, fake dating, to make someone else jealous, must rethink her own perception of what happily ever after really should look like. Okay, cute. All right, next prompt we have feels like spring. Okay, so this one, I'm gonna pick another freaking romance. Am I gonna pick another romance, really? So this book gives me very spring vibes with the color scheme, with the sport that it's choosing, because it takes place like in the spring and the summer. So that is Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. I've read several Tessa Bailey books. I've actually rated a couple of them super highly. As long as there's more than just like, she's hot, he's hot, let's get it on. As long as there's something else to like make me care about them as people, then I think I'll like it. But I'm excited to read it. I've had it from the library for a hot minute now. He's a professional golfer. She is a grumpy sunshine. He's a professional golfer. I don't really know what she does, but she's always there. And then she's gonna be his new caddy and help him turn his game around because he's struggling. Before long, they're inseparable. Wells starts winning again, and Josephine is surprised to find a sweet, thoughtful guy underneath his gruff, growly exterior. This hot man wants to brush her hair, feed her snacks, and take hot bubble baths together. Is this real life? But Wells is technically her boss, and an athlete falling for his fangirl would be ridiculous. Right? So that could be cute. I hope it, like I said, I hope it has a little more substance than normal. This book just came out not too long ago, I believe. The next one is a book that I researched before I bought it. And I'm actually I'm gonna count the book that I'm currently reading now. Is A Shadow in the Ember by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the first book in the Flesh and Fire series, which is the prequel series to From Blood and Ash. So I had to do a lot of research just to figure out when to read this, the fact that I needed to read this in the first place, which I didn't even think of. I had just bought the rest of the series and didn't think there was another series that needed to be read in the middle of it. But I saw it on social media that somebody was like, yeah, this is the reading order. And I was like, I don't have those books. What books are those? That's a different series. I'm not far into it at all. I'm 54 pages in, so I'm not even gonna count that I've started this. I'm liking it so far. There's been stuff happening already at 54 pages in, and that's like 10% of the book. So I think that's a good choice for me. All right, and then the last prompt that we have is a book with a white cover. So I have quite a few options for this. I've actually already picked one with a white cover, but let's pick another one. So I'm gonna choose The Winter People by Jennifer McMahon. I read her book, The Uninvited, was it last month or the month before? And I really liked it. So I flew through it. This was published in 2014. It seems like it's gonna have not similar vibes, but very much paranormal, almost ghost story-esque. Some secrets never die. West Hall, Vermont has always been a place of strange disappearances and old legends. The most mysterious is that of Sarah Harrison Shea, who in 1908 was found dead in the field behind her house just months after the tragic death of her daughter, Gertie. Townspeople say that Sarah's ghost walks the streets after midnight, and some still leave offerings on their doorstep to prevent her from coming inside. So it's about a woman and her mother. There's a mysterious diary. Tells the story of a mother on the edge, a mother who is willing to do the unthinkable in order to hold her daughter in her arms. Once again, no matter the consequences. And as Ruthie gets sucked deeper into the mystery of Sarah's fate, she will discover that she's not the only one looking for someone lost, nor is she the only person desperate to unlock the secrets that the diary contains. But she may be the only one who can stop history from repeating itself. So that seems really fun. So that's 7 books. That's 8 books, because we also have the Abby Jimenez book that's coming in. I think I'm gonna pick 2 more that were already on my TBR that I kind of picked for myself, because I have more than that, but I don't think I'm gonna get to them this month because of all the ones that we've already picked. Lots of romance. All right, so the first I'm gonna also add to this is Come and Get It by Kylie Reed. She also wrote Such a Fun Age, which I haven't read yet. I've never read anything by her, but this cover was just stunning. And it was at the library, so I was like, of course. It's 2017 at the University of Arkansas, and Millie Cousins, a super senior resident assistant at Belgrade Dormitory, just wants to graduate, get a job, and buy a house. So when Agatha Paul, a writer and visiting professor itching for her next big topic, offers Millie an easy, yet unusual, opportunity for them to help each other further their own interests, Millie naturally jumps at the chance. But Millie's starry-eyed side hustle quickly becomes jeopardized by a lonely transfer student, unruly residents, and illicit intrigue. Both Millie and Agatha are forced to question just how much of themselves they are willing to trade to get what they want. Sharp and intimate, Come and Get It the new thought-provoking singular novel, that's good to know, by the best-selling and critically acclaimed author Kiley Reid explores the choices that we make, particularly for the things that can and cannot be paid for. So that really didn't tell me anything that was going on. I don't really have any idea what that is. But there's a pig on the cover, and I'm a little concerned about that part. It is what it is. The last one that I'm gonna put on my TBR for the month specifically is Happiness Falls by Angie Kim. I've heard that this is a very character-driven story about a man who goes missing and the only witness was his autistic son. Sometimes the answer lies in what's unsaid. When a father goes missing, his family's desperate search leads them to question everything they know about him and one another. A riveting page-turner and deeply moving portrait of a family in crisis. So that seemed like it would be really thought-provoking because I don't really have a ton of other literary fictions. I think I just have the one. Yeah, the one I just said, Come and Get It by Kiley Reid. The rest are like fantasy or romance or horror that are very niched out, like they are in very specific sections, very specific stories. So I wanted to do something that was a little more broad, a little more character-driven, a little more open-ended. And I've seen this on so many social media accounts, so many book talks, so many booktube videos that people really love this book. So I'm excited to give it a try. And then actually, I'm gonna add one more hopeful to this month, and that we're not gonna, well, I guess we could. I probably won't get to it, but I'm hoping that I do. And that is Chlorine by Jade Song. This is about a girl who really loves to swim, she wants to be a professional swimmer. She wants to compete at a really high level. And she basically talks herself into thinking that she's a mermaid. Blurring the lines between a literary coming-of-age narrative and a dark, unsettling horror tale, Chlorine is a story about the trials and tribulations of growing up in a society that puts pressure on young women and their bodies, told from an adult perspective. A powerful, relevant debut novel of immigration, sapphic longing, and fierce, defiant becoming. I've heard this book described as pretty creepy, and then also about girls being gross. So I don't know what kind of body modification, body horror that this has in it, but that sounded really interesting. So I'm excited to see kind of where this goes. And it has a much different vibe than the ones that I've picked. So hopeful for this month as well. But that is it, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know down in the comments what y'all's April TBRs look like. What books you have read out of this stack, what books you have not, what books I probably should put back away or return to the library because they actually suck and I don't know yet. Let me know. Like this video if you like this video. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already and tick the notification bell just so you know when the videos go live. The algorithm doesn't really like my videos because I don't post frequently enough, so I've been told that they don't always get pushed. So if you would like to know first right off the bat, feel free to tick the notification bell. But I love you all. Be safe out there, support your local library, and happy reading.